All right, so what's up, Elisha?
Hi, how are you doing? Thank
I'm
you for
doing.
having me.
Oh, no problem. I'm doing good myself.
Oh,
It's another day, get another thing done.
yeah.
Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, real quickly?
Well, I'm 30, Compton native. I've been consecutively modeling for about 6 years. I'm a print, runway, and commercial model.
Okay, and you say you're from Compton, as in Compton, California.
Hell yeah.
Okay, mind if you tell us a little bit about your neighborhood and where you grew up at?
Oh, where I grew up was like the east side of Compton, so it was like Bullis Rose and Rosecrans. Like when Kendrick Lamar talk about across the street from like Luther's Parks and Church's Chicken, that's basically where I grew up, right across the street from Louis Burgers.
Okay, got you. You say you've been modeling consecutively for 6 years?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
mind if you indulge us a little bit?
Well, I started with my friend doing her boutique for like Love Your Lohans. And
Okay.
then I just kind of like went on to castings and things like that. It was more like branding for her boutique. And then I just kind of like went on to castings because it's something that I really like and passionate about it. I just went on to castings and really just kind of like worked on my walk and just really try to brand myself as a plus size model.
Okay, and when you say plus size model, what do you yourself define as a plus size model?
Hell, plus size model is any girl that is a size 12 and up. Most people be like, oh, that's too small, but most of them say like it's 14 and up. For me, it's the size 12 and up because anything beyond 12 and up is not particularly, like petite or slim. So, I mean, if you got ass, if you got titties, and you're kind of like curvaceous or you're in the double digits, honey, you're a plus size.
I'm a guy. I don't really know about women's sizes. So you said 12 and up. So below 12 and below, if you want to say it that way. Well, me saying it that way. What would you call that area?
I mean, shit, she just like slim thick. Like, I would say
So 12 and
somebody that's,
below is slim thick.
yeah, like somebody, okay, the sizes between, let me see, let's say like if you're more than 6 to 10, you like slim thick. Like, you kind of like you're in the area of like being thin, but then it's like, okay, girl, you're a little like hefty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how were you introduced to modeling?
Woo, that was I was introduced into modeling with my friend Christina. She owns an online boutique called Love Your Lohans, which means love your fat rolls or like love your flaws and
Okay.
everything. She started that because she is a plus size girl, and she talked about it I think a long time ago when we like was working together. She was like, oh damn, I want you to be your model. Me, I'm like, okay. She came back like years later and was like, I'm starting a boutique and I want you to do it. So I was like, fuck it, finna go with it. I was honestly nervous as hell to do this shit because you know how like social media and people online are very fucking cruel. But I put the kind of just went on a limb. She put the pictures out there and I got so much nice feedback. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to do this. Maybe. So I kind of just ran with it. And so far, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. So it was like, yeah.
Well, that brings me first to a question I wanted to ask you. What gave you the confidence to go public with your modeling? So you said that she was the one who went public first. Like you didn't even know that she dropped the pictures, or you knew that she dropped them and you just accepted it, or she just did it out of nowhere and just told you about it one day.
No. She knew that we were doing it. She set up like this small little shoot like in her apartment, and then she put up another shoot that was like in the studio. So I knew that the pictures was gonna go out there, but I was a little bit self-conscious, like damn, these are gonna hit the internet and people are going to see me. So it was like I always knew I had the confidence. Like, I know I'm not like a fucking ugly girl, but everybody has that small insecurity when you come to actually seeing yourself on there. Like, shit, this is me.
Okay. So on social media, did you get any negative comments that kind of discourage you from continuing modeling?
No. Well, I did get one person, but she was just a fucking hater. I had gotten into this argument with this one girl on social media. We're not even gonna speak about her because she's not important. But she was like, "Oh, you think you're a model? Call me when cover girl holla at you." And I was just like, "Okay, bitch." But back then, you were saying that I was pretty or whatever the case may be. But so far, no. That was the only negative thing that ever happened with my pictures. So far, people be like, oh my God, you're really, really pretty. Like, I love your pictures. They're so gorgeous.
I know there's a couple of, like, you know, horn dogs on the internet. You ever got any of those type of comments or anything like that in the DMs?
A shitload of dick pics. Like, a shitload of dick pics. What I want to tell people is, I mean, like, God damn it, I don't know your government, but you do not have to send me your genitals. Like, that's not a way to impress me, because it's really kind of like creepy. And then sometimes I get odd men that just be like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, or like they throw their number and shit at me, but it's not like I respond to them. Kudos to them, because I like that you like my pictures, but it's a little bit on the creepy side, especially when you're sending me your dick.
What's the creepiest thing you've ever gotten?
This one guy, like, I don't know, it was so freaking weird. It was this one DM where he was willing to just pay for, like, he was my pictures. Like, he was like, oh, dress up as your pictures and I'll, like, send you this money. And I was just like, okay, one, I'm not a prostitute, and two, I'm flattered that you're willing to pay me for that. But then three, I don't even know you. That's nasty.
What's the most positive thing that you've gotten so far from social media in your modeling career?
A lot of young girls and a lot of other plus size women say that I am such inspiration to them to be confident and to just, you know, try different things and not ashamed to wear like a two-piece and be confident in the beach. A lot of people tell me that they love my confidence.
Two-piece, like what?
Like a two-piece bathing suit, you know, like a
chicken or something.
No, it's not, but you can say that when you're wearing a two-piece. But anyway, it's like, you know, two-piece bathing suit. Like, it's like a bikini sometimes, or like high-waisted with, like, you know, your little top or whatnot. Some women are very self-conscious of that, because even though they might have hips and ass, they're like self-conscious of, you know, like their cellulite or like their stretch bars, or just like, you know, a roll or something hanging out. But I mean, like, shit, that means that's your real body. I'm not saying that you should be out there in a two-piece. If you don't feel comfortable doing that shit, wear a one-piece, wear a cover-up, how you be. But I got a lot of feedback from a lot of women say they love what I'm doing. So when I hear that, that shit makes me feel like I'm fucking superwoman, but I know I'm normal.
So what motivates you to pursue a career in this industry? Like, what sparked that flame in you?
Getting a lot of fucking no's. Getting a lot of no's. Seeing other supermodels, like shout out to Ashley Graham and Candice Kelly, and oh, there's like so many. Like, there's so many more like women that's really out there doing it that give me inspiration. But a lot of people have told me no, and sometimes I like when I go to castings and I'm the only plus size girl there.
That doesn't ever get discouraging?
Hell no. Because one, I know my potential. Two, my walk is the shit. Three, if you ever underestimate me, when you see me pose in a photograph, or when you see me photograph or just model, just know it's going to turn on, and then your whole perspective is going to change.
So what categories would you put yourself in when it comes to modeling?
Plus size at its best. Petite plus size. See, there's a difference. Most women that are plus size, they're 5'8" and taller. Me, I'm 5'6". I'm in the category of like 5'5", 5'6", under 5'7". That's considered small to most models.
What type of modeling is available for a plus size model? And by me saying that, I mean, like, what type of avenues can a plus size model pursue within this industry?
Lots of shit now. Now the game has changed. Like, it used to be only for like commercial, maybe print, but now the whole mogul has changed. Like, we're doing runway, we're doing swimsuits, we're doing Nike. Like, we're doing all aspects of modeling now. So I can honestly say there is no barrier now.
Can you define a couple of these terms? Like, what is commercial? What is runway?
Commercial is more like, I can give you an example, say like Macy's or JC's Penney's or Old Navy, that type of modeling. Then you have, what can I say, like avant-garde, couture, stuff like that. It's like Oscar de la Renta and Louis Vuitton, like prestigious stuff that be like on the runway and whatnot.
So what type of modeling categories have you done?
I have done commercial. I have done loads of runway and a couple of prints.
Couple of what?
Prints.
What's
like
prints?
And I did a couple of print shoots in for these online magazines. One was for Love You magazine, and then another one was like for Body Positivity.
So print is magazines.
Yeah, magazines or how can you say just like freaking airhead right now, but magazines, or they might do like I can't think of the name right now.
What type of categories haven't you done, but in the future you want to do?
Couture, and I want to do commercial campaigns.
What's called couture?
Couture is designers that are prestige, like Oscar de la Renta.
No, I thought you were going to say like Oscar de la Hoya.
Or you might Oscar de la, really?
Hey.
No, but it's like prestige designers, or sometimes independent designers that make gowns or make like type of clothing that are extreme and more like big and artistic. Like you might see those dresses that have like big fluctuous collars, and you'd be like, what the hell? It's couture.
I guess I don't really go out there and seek out big fluffy dresses. Not really my forte. But hey, you know, to each his own. I'm not dissing nobody out there that likes big fluffy dresses. Has modeling provided any avenues in your life that you wouldn't think possible before?
Yes, it is. Gave me the opportunity to see some parts of the world that I haven't seen. Like recently, I have.
So it's about you traveling?
Yes, traveling and networking with independent designers that I never knew.
Where have you been?
New York. I modeled on like an independency, like in Mexico before. That was awesome. My next place I would love to go to model, it would be Paris, France. I think that's every model's like number one goal, is to hit Paris, France, because it's like once you do that, the possibilities is like amazing.
What do you mean? Like, why specifically Paris, France? Like, what's going on there
Because you have
that
like,
anywhere else in the world isn't doing with modeling?
Modeling when Paris, France, when you have like Paris Fashion Week, that's the ultimate. Every model wants to hit a fashion week in spirit, and especially the European Fashion Week, because that's where all the designers of couture, and knowing that that is on your resume, like, hey, I hit Paris, top game. You have to be it to hit there.
You say you have to be top game to be in Paris. So where would you place yourself in this game?
Getting my feet wet, but not even close to even being satisfied yet. I'm honestly getting my feet wet. I haven't. Most people will be like, dang, you're really doing it. Nah, I'm just still getting my feet wet.
So you're saying, so 6 years in and you're still getting moist?
Mm-hmm. I know that's a little provocative to say, but I mean, like, hey.
What growth have you noticed from when you started to where you're at now in your career?
My walk, I would say my growth, my walk is the strongest, and my posing in photos have grew from where they started. Because I used to be just like a one-trick pony, and I knew that I had to stop doing. Like, I will always do this one pose where it's like just two hands, and then I would like 6 frames would be that same pose, and I had to tell myself, like, Elisha, you have to diverse it, like you have to be different. And then to honestly, what helped me doing that was watching America's Next Top Model. I'm like a binge watcher. I know every episode. Learning from Tyra from that show taught you how to couture your body and to know your angles and to get in the mirror so you can, you know, do those poses that brings out the picture.
So what do you want to bring to the plus size modeling industry?
What I want to bring to this industry is just letting little girls know that it doesn't matter where you come from. Even if you come from the hood, you can still aspire to be somebody great. And I want to break barriers when it comes to just being plus size, because now in the millennials, we have this one idea of being plus size where they're 5'8" or taller, and they have like just this flat stomach and like this big butt and like these hips and like, and just, you know, small on the top. Like, that's not just plus size. There's other girls who look different like that. I want to break barriers for being the height that I am and making moves like the supermodels today.
So from your beginning start to now, who influenced you back then and who influences you now? And what I mean by influence, I mean like who first encouraged you to start modeling, who kept that spark going, and who's keeps motivating you to keep going. And I know people have self-motivation, but at the same time, it's like, you know, sometimes we have to have that outer inspiration.
Yeah,
we
need
you know what I'm saying? You know, like, you know, you have that spark, but, you know, air fuels the fire. Mm-hmm. Who's your air to your fire?
I could say it's multiple women, but honestly, the number one to me is Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks is a model mogul who went from just modeling, but just being a talk show host and an actress. Like, she honestly kept it going. And being a black supermodel doing that is awesome. Cynthia Bailey, she's one of my favorites. And of course, Naomi Campbell, iconic, period. But when it comes to plus size modeling, I will honestly say the first what I seen on the camera that was just coming from just being a normal person, aspiring model, and that had to be Takara Jones. Okay. Takara Jones, and then after that it was Candace Kelly.
You being an African American woman, have you noticed any type of discrimination within the industry?
All the time. It's been going on for years, but now it's starting to break barriers. Just starting now. Back in the day, it used to only to be, you only had one, or if you were lucky, two hot models on the scene. But now that we have models who broke that barrier, and we have designers and stuff that want to break that barrier, we now have the diversity of having maybe just all black models, and then just not all petite black models. We have plus size, we have, you know, fit, we have runway, we have commercial, we have all type of African American models. When you came from back in the day when it was only like one or two.
Has your ethnicity hindered you in getting a modeling position?
Yeah, it's like that. It's just like the acting game. Maybe you weren't the type what they were looking for. You weren't that look what they were looking for. So for me, fuck it, I don't take that shit to heart. I'm just not what they're looking for. But the next designer or maybe the next casting director, that's what they want. So when you model in this game, you can't take everything, you know, you can't take everything up the ass. You gotta have real fucking tough skin.
Okay. Have you ever been to a set and you got a stylist trying to style your hair, but they didn't know what they were doing? Like, they just couldn't do your hair?
Yes. And it was most uncomfortable for the hairstylist because she was like, I don't want to offend you, but, you know, I never did black hair. She was like, can you show me how you straighten, you know, the roots of her hair? And honestly, I was actually set that day because I like to come prepared. If they say hair and makeup, I honestly have my hair already done, but it's versatile to put in a style that they need. So I always ask when I'm booked for a show, like, hey, how do they want my hair? Because if so, I'm going to wear a weave where they can, you know, diverse my hair if needed. If they want a high bun or if they want it down or if they want it or whatever, I put in a certain weave or a hairstyle or braids that they need. Now, that one day I had that one hairdresser, thank God I have my plug up hot combs and stuff so I could show her how to lay down some black hair. Because otherwise, honey, I would have been fucked. I would have been looking a hot mess that day.
Okay. You said you had to put in a weave, you said?
Yes. You know, some sisters, we wear wigs, we wear weaves. We wear everything now.
Yeah, so what's your stand on that?
I mean, black hair is diverse. We can do anything we want with our hair now.
No. I know looking back, and people used to say that the style cornrows were ghetto. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when you saw a person with cornrows, you perceived to be like hood, thuggish. You know what I mean? Like they gave us that term ghetto.
We were urban.
Yeah. See, and you're getting it. And with people today, sorry to cut you off. I just want to finish my thought. People today, they say like, oh yeah, that's urban. That's cultural. And it's like, oh, those are box braids. But it's like, let's just get back to what it really is. Like, it's cornrows. You call this shit ghetto. And it's like now,
it was ugly.
If a black woman puts it on, it's hood.
It's ghetto.
It's ghetto. But you
like
have
ratchet.
You have someone of a lighter complexion.
You have a Caucasian wearing braids. It's beautiful, and it's so urban. It's so hot on her, but it's ugly on us. It's ghetto on us.
Yeah.
But we were the ones wearing it first. When it comes to hair, black hair on the runway, it's diverse now. It's diverse, and I get it. Depending on what type of runway shows, I'm going to be honest, I'm a type of model I do ask because I need to know ahead of the time because I need my edges to be laid and I need my hair to be right.
What do you think is public perception of the plus size community?
They're more open to it and accepted to it. We've got more praise now just being plus size and being free to back in the day when it used to be like, oh my God, tell that big ass girl to put some clothes on. But now the industry have changed. Plus size is beautiful. I think it's that whole southern vibe too, because there's nothing but thick ladies out there. That whole vibe brought like, damn, like thickness is this, this shit now.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
Like I'm starting to see Caucasian and other women, like it's just all these thick ass women coming around now, and I'm like, whoa. Like the whole plus size community is just like it has its own community now, because now they have like events, like shout out to Thick LA. They have events for all plus size women. There's this place called Club Bounce. They have events every month for plus size women, and it's like a big girl club. Okay. I know it seems crazy. People be like, what? Yeah.
How do you continue your journey to reach your end goal? Like I know a lot of people they start up something, they get discouraged and they give up on it, or like someone tells them something and it creates self-doubt. How do you keep yourself as Elisha? How do you keep yourself as Poohnana? How do you keep yourself as she is plus size beauty?
How I keep motivated is I need that money. I need that bread. Although I am doing this, I want to make a name for myself that's known in this industry, period. Like when you think of plus size models, you're gonna say Poohnana. You're gonna remember her. I want to make a movement in this industry that is different. You're gonna know where I came from. You're gonna know how hard I worked for what I wanted. That's what keeps me motivated. And also, I always tell myself I want to see the world, and I know doing this, I can see the world. I can see different countries. I can see different states. I can network. I can meet people that I just see on the TV screen. Do you know how like mind-blowing that is? Seeing myself from where I was there, from like back in the day to now, from that 6 years, is mind-blowing to me, because I'm like, damn, I was just starting out just taking pictures for like a boutique. Now I have designers and people calling me like, hey, I want you to do this. Management companies, hey, we want to put you on this brand. And I'm only getting my foot wet. So that's motivation itself. People I don't even know hit me up on my social media and be like, you're such an inspiration. That's motivation to keep going. Because I'm not going to lie, it's days where I'll be like, fuck, this shit is fucking hard. And it's sometimes where you don't always get the yes. You get a ton of no's. But when you do get that one yes, it's like, it keeps you motivated. It keeps you going. It's like when you play the Rick Ross song, but like every day I'm hustling. Hell yeah. Like you push play.
You gave us the perception how people see you in plus size modeling. I want to ask the question, what is the perception that people get when you tell them that you're from Compton? What is the perception that people say when you even say the word Compton?
Oh my God, like.
Because you said you're an LA native, right?
Yeah, LA native.
Yeah, and like, I feel like here, especially within our city, like I'll call it the concrete jungle.
It is.
And out here, like only the strong do survive. And I'm just like, every day it's a blessing to be alive in a way, because a lot of people come to California and they think, you know, the 3 W's, women, weed, and weather, but it's just like, you know, it's not always like that every day. Like, some of us are still out here on the daily grind, just trying to pay rent, bills, take care of our kids. So, you know, sometimes we get consumed out here, you know. With that being said, with this being the concrete jungle, I just want, you know, just how do people perceive Compton, and how do you yourself perceive growing up in Compton? You know, is there ever a different perspective that people give you and you give them?
All the time. Like, it's like when I first conversate with them, because you see how I'm like honestly talking to you now and using proper words and whatnot, and then they ask me where I'm from and they're like Compton, and they give like this eye thing and they be like, really? Like, you're from Compton? I'll be like, yes. I know I hate to use this term, but I'll be like, straight out of Compton. Seriously. When I give that, people do always give that eyeball, but then they be like, oh shit, really? I thought you was from somewhere. No, I'm really actually from the hood. I'm from the hood. My mom, she's hood based. Growing up in Compton, grew up to where it made me grow up with tougher skin. Yes, I got made fun of. Yes, I know how to roast on your ass. It made my mouth lethal, and it also prepared me for the real world, knowing how to deal with assholes today. Like, millennial motherfuckers really don't get on my nerves, because they know, because I don't always have to come out of that character for you. You know what I'm saying? It made me stronger as a person. It made me stronger so I know how to deal with this industry. Like, the little shit really don't bother me. But now, looking back, growing on Compton, it's like my city has grown so much. Now it's been gentrified, but it still has its hood-based legacy. It's not everything that you see on the camera that y'all see on TV. Yeah, it does have its hood base. Yeah, it does have the shootings and the gangs and stuff like that. But that foundation also made it stronger too. Like, now we're giving concerts. Now we're celebrities. And honestly, to be honest, I'm starting to see Caucasian people coming into our city. Like, it's starting to be like a Hollywood scene. Like, there's Caucasian people who just want to go and take pictures and just be like they want to be in Compton. I think ever since the movie came out, and then we have like all these rappers, and you might see us all the time with our mayor and stuff. Shout out to Asia Brown on, you know, from Compton. I'm glad to say that I was raised there, because it made me stronger in who I am today.
Any negative experiences growing up in Compton?
Seeing people die. And that might seem like it's a cliche, but I saw somebody die, I think, when I was about 13 years old. Hearing gunshots don't scare me. I know to run. Seeing somebody get robbed really don't scare me. The only negatives is about it having somebody gone or missing the next day. Somebody that you love that's gone. The shootings, the stabbings, the robbing. That's the only negative.
Any positive? Want to shed some light?
Hell yeah. Any positive was shit. It made you tough. It made you ain't scared of shit. You can survive. You know this ain't the worst. It had its fun. You had our parties. We had, you know, like parades. We had events. Shit, the high school that I went to, shout out to Centennial High School, was an all-blood school. But it has so much potential and character where it was fun every day. Can you imagine having a class with like the jock, the game banger, the drill teamer, the cheerleader? Then you had your cool teachers. Then you had your nerds. Then you had, you know, your Latina homegirls, your hood homegirls. Like, it was a whole bunch of diversity there.
Care to shed a little light on your childhood? Growing up in Compton? Growing
up in Compton, it was fun. It was so many memories. I grew up around, first I was in the Manors in Compton. It was like literally across the street from, people from Compton know this, the Compton Fashion Center, but it was basically the Compton Swap Meet, but now it's a Walmart.
You said the Manors?
The Manors. That was what the apartment building was. The Manors was these big old brown apartments that was across the street from the Compton Swap Meet. Everybody, kids, lived up in there. I was raised with my cousins. So my mom had her apartment and my aunt's was in the complex down the way. I was raised around 8 to 10 of my cousins in the complex. Imagine a whole bunch of like project kids in that complex. So you got kids, you fighting kids every day, you argue with kids, but you knew you would go outside and play with them. We had candy houses, we had the swap meet where you can buy any type of Jordan or shoes or anything that you needed. Anything. I'm talking about anything that you needed. You had the candy house, you had people selling food, you had your game beggars that lived in the apartments. My childhood was honestly hella fun.
Okay. What about middle school life? Elementary? What about grade school? I
Yes.
can't, everyone says their childhood's good until you start going to school. So, talk about that. How was it like getting an education in Compton?
That was a difference from where my mom kept us, because grade school, I lived in Linwood. Linwood was the borderline of, where Compton was. You can cross the street and it'd be Linwood. Linwood was like bougie ghetto. Linwood, going to school in Linwood was like going to school with Crenshaw. You know how you had your bougie people and then you had your hood people. I went to Linwood. Let me see. At Linwood, it was Abbott Elementary. That's where I went to. And then middle school, I went to Linwood Middle School. So I didn't go to school in Compton until high school.
Okay, got you. And then you say you went to Centennial High, right?
Centennial High.
Okay. What was your graduation year?
My graduation year was
Was what?
2007.
2007?
Mm-hmm.
What happened in 2007 when you graduated? Were you glad to be out of school?
Hell yeah, because I was working and I was going to school. My first ever job, I was working at Disneyland as a cashier.
Got you. Yeah, so you was a go-getter going to school and
Hell
got a
yeah.
job.
Ever since the age of 14, I knew living in Compton and living under my mom's house, I knew I wanted more from what I seen every day. Age of 18, I got in my mom's house. I just left. I was like, it's time to go.
We both agreed that this city is a concrete jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, would you consider yourself the hunter or the prey?
The hunter. The hunter, because I will always make shit happen, whether or not if I didn't have the means for it. I'm going to go out here and get this money, or I'm going to go out here and get this job. I'm not going to stay broke for long.
Okay. And you said you describe yourself as a hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could kind of tell that, 'cause I can see you right now. You're wearing some Nike Dunks. I'm not particular. Those aren't SBs, but they look pretty fire. I believe that's a cheetah or a leopard print.
Yep.
Okay,
Boom.
got you.
Boom.
So
Fresh.
you is out here
Fresh.
hunting. Well, I do appreciate you being on the show. I always give people this opportunity. Since I ask you questions, I allow you to ask. Ask myself a question. I allow people to give, one question. I answer it. So you have any question that you want to ask?
What's your perspective of me modeling? And be your honest with me, because I hate when motherfuckers lie.
Well, I'm not gonna say I've been scrolling through your social media feed. I've seen it pop up on my, what do you call that? The news feed a few times.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, you sent me on your news feed.
Yeah, so I liked a few pictures. I may
yeah.
have left a couple of comments under them. Not saying if I did or if I didn't, but
Say I'm pretty.
if you see them, you see them. But
My pictures are pretty.
well, if I left a heart, they gotta be something, right?
Well, niggas leave hearts and shit all the time.
But I do have a special request. So you said that you're the hunter, right?
Yeah, of course.
So there's a giraffe print dunk right next to you, and I was wondering, can you just do a little shoot with it? Since you're the hunter with the cheetah leopard going on, I wanted you to, it shows what you do with your prey.
Oh shoot, you want to see me in my work?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Mind if you
it's
just,
a nice shoot.
grab it off the little stool? Not stool, but, little shelf right there.
Okay, look at you, little flight click.
Mind if you hold it up to the camera?
Do my Vanna White.
If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the channel to get notified when we drop new content. And thanks again for watching Swoosher Sweets.